Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna, this is Coffee Books and Bullet Journals, and I'm going to do my March book haul. So I have quite a few books to talk about today. I have 21 books. I bought a few books this month. To be expected, I went on a business trip. I found a really cute bookstore. So I bought a couple of books. I have book of the month. Barnes & Noble was doing a like 50% off on new releases, so I got a couple things there. I did a book outlet order because they had some really good ones, and just a couple of books at thrift stores actually. So we'll go ahead and get started with that and then work our way down the line. Alright, so thrift stores. Didn't really find that much, and oddly enough I actually went today too and they didn't have anything either, so there's that. So the first one I got was A Dog's Purpose by W. Bruce Cameron. A Dog's Journey is coming out on video and like in theaters, and then this one is also a movie, and I've never read anything by him, but as you know, I love my puppies. So I don't know, I want to read A Dog's Journey, but I know that this is the first one in that series, and so I have to read this one first, and it was like 50 cents because it's actually a mass market, which I'm not as happy about, but you know, whatever. The next one is a thriller called Reconstructing Amelia by Kimberly McCreight, and this is a thriller, contemporary, is contemporary a thriller a genre? I don't know. It's about a woman who gets a call saying that her daughter jumped off the roof at school and killed herself, and so this woman is, I think she's a lawyer, and she's so she basically has to reconstruct everything because she doesn't believe it was suicide. She believes that she was either pushed off or something a little bit more mysterious happened. This is compared with Jodi Picoult and Tana French, so I'm excited about it. I pulled it off the shelf, read the back, and it sounded interesting, and then a friend of mine said it was really interesting too. So alright, the next book I picked up was The Devil in the White City by Erik Larson, and this is about the 1893 World Fair and a serial killer. So that's exciting. Historical fiction, obviously, possibly some paranormal stuff, I don't know. But the cover looks beautiful, and yeah, I don't know, I'm excited about it. And then the last one, I've already read this book, but I had listened to it on audio, and so I wasn't able to, I never had a physical copy of it, and that is I'll Be Gone in the Dark by Michelle McNamara. This was a really, really good book, and I loved it, and I wanted a physical copy of it. It was one woman's obsessive search for the Golden State Killer. It's very, very popular. It was very popular on BookTube last fall, and I think I read it back in October. And yeah, 5 stars, but I wanted something that was, I wanted a physical copy of it. Alright, on to the book outlet order. I got, I think, 8 books. First one was From Twinkle with Love with from Sandhya Menon. I have Wind Dimple Met Rishi, and then I also have the ARC for There's Something About Sweetie, and so I thought maybe I should probably read her first 2 before I read this one, or before I read the ARC. I don't know that that's gonna happen before the release date, but we'll see. I don't know much about this. I think she's a film geek and like wants to wants to become a director or something like that, but other than that I don't really know anything about that one. That's the one of the 3 that I know the littlest about. Littlest? Yeah. The least about. There we go. The next one is This Is How It Always Is by Lori Frankel, and this book I heard about from Sarah's Nightstand. It's about a young boy who likes to wear dresses and wants to be a girl, and so that like whole you know, dealing with that as a family, and I'm excited about this, but that's definitely something I heard about from Sarah and was intrigued by it, so that when I saw it on Book Outlet, I definitely wanted to pick it up. The next one I'm very excited about, and that is the sequel to Caraval. I found Legendary by Stephanie Garber. This book is just beautiful. This book actually follows the sister This is her story, Donatella's story. And I don't know. I'm very excited about it. I think that the first one really left off on a cliffhanger, and so I'm excited to get to this one. I don't know a whole lot about it, but it's okay. Some of the fantasy books I would rather go into blind. Okay, the next book that I got was The Diviners by Libba Bray. This is a very popular book on BookTube, and pretty much everyone knows about it, but it's about 1920s. It's got paranormal aspects into it, supernatural powers. That's pretty much all I need to know. But I remember starting this book on audio, and then I started it on a flight back home after a business trip, and I was just so exhausted that I actually fell asleep, and so then I just never really restarted it. So now I have the physical book that I can actually read. I think that might work better. The narrator tended to she just has a very lyrical voice, and so I was falling asleep. So I'm gonna try to pick this up, and then there are the other 2 books on Book Outlet as well. So hopefully I'll be if I like this one, I'll buy the other 2. All right, the next book is a YA book that I checked out from the library a year ago because I heard about it and then never actually got around to reading it, and this one was it was on the clearance section, and that is Goodbye Days by Jeff Setner, who also wrote The Serpent King, but I haven't read that one yet, which is one of Julie's favorite books. And this book is about 3 kids who are in a car accident after texting and driving, so it's obviously that kind of commentary on that. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about this book recently, but which it's an older book. I mean, it's several years old, I think. 2017. It's a couple years old. It's an interesting premise. I'd like to see what he does with it. All right, the next book I saw Chelsea reading last summer, I believe, before it came out, and then I found it on Book Outlet. So that was To Be Honest by Maggie Ann Martin. This is about a girl who is plus size, and her mother was on one of those reality shows to get in shape and lose weight, and so now she has this obsessive drive for that, and so then it's the mother-daughter relationship with that. I've heard really good things about this book, and so I'm excited to pick it up, and it's also very small, so maybe sooner than later. All right, the next one, I'm very excited. I keep saying that. The next book is Obsidio by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. This is actually the 3rd book in the Illuminae files. I don't have the 2nd one, but I want to get them all in hardback. And for some reason, Book Outlet has Illuminae in paperback and this one in hardcover, and they don't have Gemina at all. So there's that. But I love the hardcover copy because this has the black, but then if you read the this has the redacted files. That's the naked cover. It looks really, really cool. So I'm reading Gemina this month. I'm just listening to it on audio, and then Scribd has an e-version of it that I'll be able to read as well. But I do eventually want to get the physical copy of it, just so that I have my whole trilogy that looks good. So, speaking of finishing out trilogies, now this is one that I was less happy about because it wasn't the same as the rest of everything that I have. But that is A Column of Fire by Ken Follett. This is the 3rd book in the Kingsbridge trilogy, which is The Pillars of the Earth and World Without End, and then now A Column of Fire. This one it's hardcover, and my other 2 are paperback, but it is what it is. I don't think they've even released this book in paperback yet because this is the newer one. So I honestly don't know much about this one. Actually, I don't know any of it. The Kingsbridge trilogy takes place in medieval England, and the first one takes place building the cathedral, and then the second one takes place during the Black Death, so 100 years later. This one takes place in 1558. So I wanted to complete the trilogy. I have his other trilogy, and I have not read them yet because they're 1,000-page books. They are a monster. A little bit of fun. So, anyways, that was my Book Outlet order. For Book of the Month, I got 2 books this month. And the first one was Queenie by Candace Carty-Williams. And this is, from what I understand, it's Bridget Jones' Diary meets Americana is the first word of the blurb, which kind of had me hooked. And I know that it has from what I've heard, it has really good Jamaican rep, and it's kind of a coming of age story. I plan on reading this a little bit later into the summer, just because I feel like it's going to be a nice summer read. I don't know. I'm gonna take it to the pool or something. And then the other one I got, I actually already read, and that was Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I talked about this one in my wrap up. I gave it 4.5 stars. I loved it. Although I highly recommend the audiobook. I feel like the audiobook is even better than like just reading it physically. There are a few books that are like that. All right, when I was in North Carolina last week, I was like, where was I? I've been just way too much. When I was there last week, I picked up a couple of books. I went to a really cute little bookstore. Didn't get anything there. And then I found another used bookstore that I got 2 books. One was super cheap and then one not so much, but it's one that I was like actually physically looking for. So I got Alex Approximately by Jen Bennett. So I have An Anatomical Shape of a Heart, and I have Starry Eyes, and now this one, and then I also have her ARC, Serious Moonlight, that I'm very excited to read. But this one, I remember Julie talking about it during Contemporary-a-thon, got put on my radar. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I think this one, she liked classic movies or things like, something like that. She lives in California, I think in LA, and I wanted, like, the way that this is blurbing, the one guy Bailey Rydell can't stand is actually the boy of her dreams. Sounds like Hate to Love, which I'm down for. I can get behind that. And then the next one I picked up was The Shining by Stephen King. I'm reading this for the Alice Magical Readathon, and I figured it would be good to have a hard copy as well. Then my final books that I picked up, most of these are Barnes & Noble, but then there's also one Amazon book as well. I think it's Amazon. I don't know. So the first one I picked up was Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren. I have already read this. I listened to it on audio last year, but I wanted a physical copy. I have all of Christina Lauren's books, except for like the really early ones. I have all of their like newer, more contemporary ones, less of the like romance smutty ones. Does that make sense? Okay. So this is about a girl who's super quirky, and she is roommates with this guy named Josh, and they set each other up on these like double blind dates, which end up going horribly wrong, and so then they just keep coming home together. And so then they try to date, and you know, hilarity ensues. It was really cute. All right, and the next ones that I picked up were The Cruel Prince and The Wicked King by Holly Black. They're beautiful. This is the Barnes & Noble edition. They didn't have the black one in this one for The Cruel Prince, but I'm okay with that. They still look really cool together. I am reading, as you can see, there's a bookmark in it. I'm reading The Cruel Prince right now. I'm going to try to finish this one this week and then read this one for the Fantasy-a-thon. I'm, like, the only readathon I'm actually participating in April is the Alice Magical Readathon. I'm just, like, sort of dipping my toes in the other ones, if that makes sense. I don't know. I can't commit to like that many readathons, but I also want to support these people that are doing them. So I'm kind of reading a book or 2 of them. So, all right. And the other one I have also talked about multiple times now, not in a good way. I hate this book so much, and I'm so mad that I spent this much money on it. This Is Where It Ends by Marie-Knish Camp. This is about a school shooting that just did not deliver in any way, shape, or form. And do yourself a favor and please don't buy this book. Please don't. There you go. There's your TED Talk for today. And then the last book, I think this one I actually got on Amazon, and that is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This is going to be our book club book for May for the Literary Alliance, so I wanted to pick it up. Alright guys, so that is all that I have for you today. Thank you all for watching. If you are new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little red button that you can do so down below the video, and all of the links to my social media are in the description down below if you would like to be my friend on any other platform. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day.